I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33. And my work as the Shadow Teacher 33, my work as Jason Abraham, the thought form that identifies as Jason Abraham in this life right now, is dedicated to exploring the expression of expansive human potential. And I talk about programming and how our limiting beliefs and our delusions come from the programming we've absorbed in our life, programming that we have not unpacked, programming that we still believe in. This programming builds the belief systems which are the bugs essentially in our operating system, or the microchips that are powering our operating system as we are showing up in the world as we are. And I always hated going to public school. I went to public school as a youngster. My mom was a teacher. That was her profession. And one of the concepts that I was exposed to in public school that I absolutely hated was this concept of busy work. Concept when a teacher is too tired to engage the students and doesn't exactly know what to do with them. They give them busy work. They give them these pointless assignments that are not stimulating in any way, shape, or form. It's just stuff that you're told to do, and if you don't do them, you get punished. And this programming of feeling that when there's not something valuable or constructive to do, you have to stay busy all the time. Some of this comes from the programming from education, from the Rockefeller education system. And the flip side of that is entertainment. Feeling like when you have space, if you're not doing something that you feel like you have to do, when you're not doing something that you feel like you need to do to be productive, to have that feeling of productivity, you need to be engaged in some way. You need to be stimulated in some way. And that is where entertainment comes in. Always wanting to distract you, always wanting to stimulate you, always wanting to grab your energy and attention and emotion. And so people kind of live this life, the mediocre person lives this life of going from pointless busy work with maybe a few things that are meaningful thrown in there to mindless stimulation. And there's never any space, there's never any opportunity for what's genuine within that person to want to show up, because they're filling up their time either with the false belief that they're being productive with busyness, or inundating their consciousness with just mindless, distracting entertainment. And that's a recipe for mediocrity. That's the recipe for being a slave as opposed to a sovereign being. A sovereign being, one who has an idea, an intention of how they want to express something in the world, how they want to use a creative spark and show up and make some choices in their lives, have some kind of influence on the world they're in, starting with themselves in their own life. And many people believe they're going to get one of the rare Shadow Teacher 33 edits, as my phone ran out of space when I was continuing a thought on sovereignty. And as I was saying, many people believe they are sovereign and free, when in fact they are simply slaves to their programming. And there are forces in the world that, believe it or not, they don't want you to be sovereign and free. They want you to remain in that perception that you are while in actuality being a slave to the beliefs and pendulums that they have conveniently provided for you to attach to. And what I find is that when we have space, when we allow space in our day, space to sit with that initial discomfort of boredom, what that opens up is the communication with an expansive awareness. The space of silence, of allowing ourselves time just to sit and to be quiet or to walk, not to have anything scheduled, not to feel the need to distract ourselves, not to feel the need to be busy. What this allows is necessary time to regroup, to recharge, and also what this opens up is for sincere communication with something divine, with something that is higher in consciousness, that's within you all the time, but yet you're not aware of it when you are busy or distracted. That time of quiet, that time of boredom opens up the channel for that communication. And if you are intentionally exploring your own potential, I find it necessary to have that quiet time, to get off a device, to maybe acknowledge that tug of feeling uncomfortable, saying, you know, I need to be doing something, or I want to be entertained. But when you can say no to those tugs and say yes to the silence, say yes to the space, you're saying yes to opening up to true divine guidance, true authentic communication with something that's unique within you, something that wants to express itself through you in a unique way that otherwise you wouldn't be able to listen to. You'd be hearing all these other voices. You'd be hearing the voices of your programming and hearing the voices of that which is distracting you, which seeks to program you even more. But when you have that silent time and that still small voice becomes louder and becomes bigger, then you get that true inspiration that will be a proponent in guiding you, propelling you forward in true inspired action. Inspired action that is going to lead to that true expansive being that you intend to embody, that expansive state that is potentially within you. So with that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. Be aware, be awake, and I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy your silence, my friends. Be well.